Hello everyone, welcome back to ttpsports. Yes, I am alive. I'm sorry for not posting in a week because over the weekend I went to California for the weekend to see the Flyers up in Los Angeles, which was a great experience. So let's get into the news of tonight right now. Flyers, they earned 7 out of 8 points possible in this 4-game road trip in Western California and Arizona, and they beat the Coyotes tonight 5-2, which was a good road trip for the Flyers overall. Yes, of course, they still have sloppiness in their game, but overall, this is a good start moving upward direction for the Flyers. Because sooner or later, you get JVR coming up back. He's about 10 to 14 days, according to Hextall, I think, before returning to the lineup. But also, in bad news, you got Brian Elliott. He got injured in practice last night when colliding with Travis Konechny. And shocker of the news is Michael Neuvirth. He's been put on injured reserves. Actually, he's been put on there since October 30th, but he wasn't really announced until like a couple days ago that he was on injured reserve. So, not really a big shocker that Neuvirth got injured again. But to get to the good news, let's get into the synopsis of this game. So you got first period, where you got the Flyers going against a tough and young Coyotes team. Going in, the Coyotes have the best penalty kill in the National Hockey League. They scored at least 7 shorthanded goals, so going into this game, you had to get the chances you got on the power play and 5-on-5, because you knew how dangerous they were on the penalty kill. But Flyers, they managed to get it done. In the first period, you got Claude Giroux, who's moving up to the blue line. He just shoots it on net, and it goes in from a nice screen from Travis Konechny, so Giroux gets his... And that adds on to a 3-point night from Giroux, actually. And then you got the end of the period, the Flyers on the power play against the number 1 ranked penalty kill. You got a one-timer from Ghost, deflects off of Derek Stefan's stick and into the net to make it 2-0 to go into the second period. Well, first intermission, actually. And then in the second period, the Flyers take a lot of early penalties. You got the first penalty taken by Lindblom, which Arizona manages to cash it on with Alex Galchenyuk. He just snipes it top left corner. Calvin Pickard, he really couldn't do much. He was screened, and it was also just a perfect shot from Galchenyuk, so he really couldn't do anything there. And then on a span where the penalties from the Flyers and the Coyotes, all those penalties and power plays managed to not work in any team's direction. And then you got going into the middle of the end of the period, a weird play happens where it's sort of like a 3-on-2. You got Konechny passing up to Sanheim, who then passes up to Giroux, who whiffs on it, but then you got a Coyote defenseman crashing into Demper, pushing him out of his crease and way on the outside of the net to where he can't get back into this crease. And one of the defensemen from the Coyotes that hits the puck that Giroux whiffed on. He just swats it back, and it lands on Couturier's stick, who just stares at wide open net, believing that, what am I looking at right now? And then he just winds it up and puts it in the open net to make it 3-1 Flyers going into the second intermission. Then, going into the third period, the Flyers need to shut down this game. They are going into that third period. They were 6-0-1 technically, when leading after 2. Their only loss coming against San Jose, which was in overtime. And actually, the Flyers over the course of this 4-game road trip have not been trailing at any point. The only game they really trailed was when they lost to San Jose in the overtime. So Flyers have really only had the lead or they've been tied. So that's actually a really good sign. So in the third period, in the defensive zone, the Coyotes make a mistake, and Wayne Simmons is able to jump on the puck and rush it up with Claude Giroux to make it a little 2-0. He slides it over to Claude Giroux, and Claude Giroux just backhands it in for his second goal of the game, which adds to his 3-point night. But then you got Coyotes, they're looking to make a little push. They get a power play, but then they're able to make it 4-2 on a little screenshot. I'm not sure if it was hit with a high... It wasn't really hit with a high stick because it wasn't really blown dead, so the stick was like a little below the crossbar, so it counted. I think it was Derek Stefan's goal, but I'm not actually sure. So that made it 4-2 right there, so it looked like the Coyotes were ready to make a push to come back and tie this game. But no, the Flyers were able to shut down. They were able to get an empty net, and Oscar Lindblom, he's able to cash in from a nice pass from Nolan Patrick. And Nolan Patrick and Oscar Lindblom, over the course of this 4-game road trip, looked amazing. They had points in all 4 games. And I think Lindblom, he had a goal. Well, right now he has 2 goals, and I think he has like at least 4 or 5 assists, so that's 6 points. And Patrick has, I think, at least 2 or 3 goals and at least 2 or 3 assists. So they both have the same amount of points over the course of this road trip, which was, they're starting to show their chemistry, and they're starting to put in their game in the right direction, which is a really great sign. Because Nolan Patrick, Oscar Lindblom, they have a lot of potential to be really good in this league. And also, the game from Calvin Pickard, we needed that from a goaltender. He played really good today. He made the important saves that we needed. He didn't allow all the goals both goals that he allowed actually were just a really good screen, or like the second one, it was just a deflection that he couldn't stop. So Calvin Pickard, he played a really good game today. So yeah, so overall, start going in an upward direction for the Philadelphia Flyers. Right now, they didn't sweep the road trip. They go 3-0-1 on the road trip. They get 7 out of 8 points. They really need it, and now they're right back at 500. They're 7-7-1. So now the Flyers, they got 2 days off going back home, and they're facing the Coyotes again on Thursday. So that's going to be a tough battle because the Coyotes are going to be ready for them again, but hopefully the Flyers can hold it off, because we don't know what's going to happen with the Elliott and Neuvirth situation. Because right now it looked like he was saying Elliott was going to miss only a game, but now going back into Philadelphia, Elliott needs to be checked out by a doctor, so hopefully it's not concussion related. Hopefully he's not going to miss long term, because that's going to be a devastating blow. And you got everyone on Twitter panicking right now about a Calvin Pickard and an Alex Lyon tandem. So yeah, it's not the best, but yeah, it's a little scary because they're both young goaltenders and not that much experience, but what are you going to do? Flyers have an abundance of goaltenders, but they're all really young and not, like I said, not have that much experience. So if Elliott does go down with injury, what are the Flyers going to do? They have to go out and possibly get a goaltender, but we're not going to look that far ahead right now, so wait till tomorrow what we hear about Elliott. So just be happy right now. The Flyers are managed to back up 500. They take 7 out of 8 on the road trip, which is really good. Spiral upward direction. And hopefully it just gets better from here on out. But we still need to fix a lot of stuff. Turnovers, not getting the puck out. Simple stuff they need to fix. And the power play and the penalty kill, of course, obviously need to get better. So what do you guys thought about this game? What do you guys thought about the road trip overall? Don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, boys, and I'll see you in the next video. Really good road trip by the Flyers.